Today I want to demonstrate arrow flight out of a perfectly tuned bow. I got 3 different heads. We have a Magnus Stinger 4-blade 125, Muzzy 3-blade 125, and a field point 125 grains. We're going to be shooting from 40 yards. Hopefully the camera picks up everything we need to see. First, the Magnus. Second up, Muzzy. Lastly, field point. In case anybody's wondering, shooting a 2016 Prime Rize, set at 70 pounds, 29-inch draw length, CBE sight, trophy taker, drop away rest. There you have it. That's 40 yards, 2 big fixed blade broadheads, and a field point, all flying together. Looks like that one arrow's on a little bit of an angle, could be because of all the holes in the target. Target's quite beat up. The white piece of paper you see there, that was the point of aim. So we're right there. It's probably less than a 2-inch circle, 2-inch group. You can't complain about that. We're going to do the same test, except this time we're going to do it from 101 yards. I don't generally shoot this far, nor would I ever even attempt it during a hunt situation, but I'm curious. So we're going to use the same 3 arrows, the Muzzy, the Magnus, and a field point. The only thing different, I'm going to send another field point up ahead of everything else. I just want to make sure that the bow's sighted in somewhat close to that 100-yard mark. I don't want to be losing broadheads. So this is that first field point, that tester. I don't want to ruin a broadhead. I hit lumber. That's why we send a field point. Alright, so based on that, I'm going to send all 3 now. As the field point, here goes the Magnus. Keep in mind, I got a little breeze here blowing from my right to left, so these may have a tendency to drift to my left. Here's the Muzzy. Well, the only one I heard lumber on was that first field point. And that was just an arrow I pulled out of the box. I hadn't shot that before, I hadn't tuned it, nothing. So we're going to see what happens. Start the long walk back. Well, gotta say I'm pretty impressed. The one stray arrow, that first field point I sent, that I had never even shot that arrow before, that's in the upright there. But the ones that I've been shooting, the 3 arrows have proven good flight. One is about 1 inch high of the bullseye. The other 2 are just below the target. We got a little bit of wind, probably 5 to 10 mile an hour breeze, so that could have affected it. I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. I'm betting the 2 that are lower broadheads, simply because they have a BAR, which is a broadhead adapter ring required for eastern axis arrows. Field point does not. It's 5 grains. So maybe at 40 yards that's not going to affect anything, but I'm betting at 100 yards. So my money's on the top one, being the field point. We got this all on the GoPro too, mounted right above the target. So let's see which one is the bullseye. Surprise, surprise, Magnus Stinger. That's impressive. That is impressive. That's the Magnus Stinger that was on the bullseye. How about that? Awesome. Five inches low, 3 inches to the right. It's a muzzy. Field point was 7 inches low, and about 2 inches to the left. The whole point of this video was to prove that big fixed blade broadheads can fly just as good as field points at any distance. The bow has to be tuned. You have to pick your arrows, because all your arrows, you buy a dozen arrows, they may not all fly the same. I put letters and numbers on mine to know which ones are going to do what. And I'm by no means an expert. I'm just a guy who likes to shoot a bow a lot. That's one thing I've always wanted to do, so there it is. And surprisingly, the Magnus Stinger was a broadhead that was 1 inch high at 101 yards. That's pretty impressive. At 40 yards, you saw the group earlier in the video. You know, they were all right there in a 2-inch circle at 40 yards. That's impressive, and I won't shoot more than 40 yards at an animal. So, thanks for watching the video. Just went over all the raw footage of the video. I just wanted to mention a couple things. I didn't sit here and shoot all day trying to make this video happen to get those 3 arrows in the group that I got. I did shoot about 3 or 4 field points prior to shooting that group of 3, just to get in the ballpark. I got targets high and low just in case I missed. But there was one take on that, and that was it. And I ran out of sight tape on my sight. Put a white piece of paper up in a tree as an aiming point. You know, I think the highest my sight went was 90 yards. I put that paper up there as a guide, and it did its job. So